Now, there are other forms of work, and I will refer you to your book to read about those forms of work. They will talk to you about elongation of a solid bar as a force pulls a bar, that normal stress causes work inside of that bar. We're not dealing with that. You might do that within a mechanics and materials class or a machine design class. You might work with that. We're not going to talk about it, so we're not going to worry about it. There's lots of other things. One of the things that we will continue with talking about a little bit is going to be about electric motors. Electric motors are electrical engineering and mechanical engineering all put together here. And so when I look at this electric motor, which that's a beautiful looking electric motor. If you see this electric motor that I just drew here on the store, buy it. Because that's a beautiful electric motor. Okay, what happens? You plug electric motor in, so I'm going to say there's a positive and negative, and out the other side what's going to happen is the shaft is going to rotate. That's basically what's happening. Electricity is coming in one end, electrical engineering is coming in one end, and mechanical engineering is coming out of the other. All right? So what you have a current going through this. And you're going to have a voltage between the positive and negative. And so, we've dealt with V for velocity and V for volume, and so for this voltage, we're going to use epsilon for that voltage. Okay, now coming out this other end, you're going to have omega, which is going to be your angular velocity. And tau, which is equal to torque. That's what we're going to have. Now, when we look at this what I'm going to call the shaft, we're going to talk about power here, because in an electrical motor, we're going to be dealing with power, which is the time rate of change of work. Okay, so let's understand some things here. Tau, or torque, is equal to the tangential force. This is the force tangential. Times the radius, r. Okay. And velocity is equal to the radius times the angular velocity that we talked about before. Now remember how I first started this lecture. I said that shaft power, or the rate of work here, shaft, is equal to force times velocity. Okay, that's what we derived what power was, force times velocity. So let's use that here. This is going to be the tangential force times the velocity. What's the tangential force? That is going to be tau over r, and our velocity is going to be r times omega. And so we're going to end up with that this is going to be the torque times the angular velocity is going to give you the shaft power. Now, we have to ask ourselves the sign conversion of this, the sign of this. Is it positive or negative? Okay, now remember, if my control volume, if my control volume is going to be the electric motor is producing the shaft movement, producing the shaft's movement. So it is working on the surroundings. This is going to be positive in our thermodynamic sign convention. Now, how do we find out electric power? You've taken electric circuits and controls, or you're going to take electric circuits and controls. You've taken engineering physics, and they talk to you about power. What is power, electric power? It is equal to voltage times current. So we're going to have voltage times current here. And the question here is this going to be positive or negative? Well, it's coming in from the surroundings, acting on the system. This is going to be a negative here. That's going to be our electric current. When we're looking at electric motor, we're often looking at the net amount of work. Okay, net. So W dot net is going to be the summation of all our power. And so that's going to be W dot shaft plus W dot electric. And we're going to get that this is equal to tau times omega minus the voltage times the current. And we want that to be greater than 0. You want to have more, you want to have net power. That's important. That's an important thing. So for electric motors here, your power is in kilowatts. Okay, power is in kilowatts. But when we talk about electricity, we're talking about energy. Energy is in kilowatts, kilowatt hours. Okay, kilowatt hours is what we're going to be dealing with there. Okay, so let's talk about kilowatt hours just a second. My notes fell on the floor. Let's talk about kilowatt hours. So energy demand is the energy used in a period of time. So let's talk about a 10 watt LED light bulb. And it works, it's on for 10 hours. It's on for 10 hours. Okay, we turn it on for 10 hours. What it's going to consume is 10 times 10, or 100 watt hours of electricity consumed. Okay, now we don't talk about things in watt hours in terms of kilowatt hours, and so kilowatt hours is going to be 0.1 kilowatt hours. Okay, that's the energy use. This is what we pay for. How many kilowatt hours of energy did you use? You had all these things that had so many wattage and used it for so many hours. We're added all up. This is how many kilowatt hours of electricity you used. That is going to be equal to your what you're going to pay your bill for. Now, the demand on that light bulb for the power was just 0.01 kilowatts. Okay, that we convert that 10 watts to kilowatts as 0.01 kilowatts. This is the power demand. Okay, so we have to be able to meet that demand, that immediate demand, but then use it, over time. We find out how much use we have there and what we work with. Okay, and that's what we're going to end what we're talking about, our electric motors. And so we're going to see kilowatt hours show up from time to time. We're talking about power plants, so that idea needs to be understood. But tonight's homework is really going to emphasize that those polytropic things, polytropic situations. Okay, and that's where we'll end today, and then we'll move on. And I think on Friday we're going to completely finish the first law of thermodynamics, and you will have that in your back pocket to tell your friends and impress your friends over the weekend. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy.